Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the In My Era podcast, you guys. It is a solo episode this week. Didn't introduce myself, but I'm Haley Sasso, the host, whatever. You guys understand, we are here. You obviously know who I am if you are here. This week I want to talk about the fact that we're sober and I have 548 unread text messages, to be completely specific. And you might be like, how does this relate? I'm kind of confused. Bear with me, okay? Because I have fucking notes and we're gonna get into it. I just have been thinking. Every week I come on here and I'm like, oh my God, you guys, I've been thinking, because I think all the time, so much every day. And it's a beautiful thing and I love it. And this week I just felt really inspired to talk about the fact that I'm sober and I have 548 unread text messages, okay? So first things first, buzzword, sober sister. Hi. You might be like, wait, Haley, what? I'm confused. Are you an alcoholic? Why are you sober? Or you might be like, that's not a big deal. What are you even talking about? Let me share with you my current relationship with alcohol, okay? To be very clear, anything that I talk about this episode specifically is my opinion for my own life, based off of my experiences for myself. I do not care what other people do in regards to this. I'm not judging anyone else. This is purely just based off of my experience and what I feel like I need to do for myself right now, okay? So, to really get a good little background, from day one, I was born, right? I rise with the sun. I think alcohol is evil, like right away. Like my first thought with alcohol, growing up as a child, based off of my experience from what I saw as a child, was that alcohol was the problem. Alcohol was the issue with everything in the world. And if alcohol were to just disappear, then my life would be perfect and my mom would love me and it would be sunshines and rainbows, okay? That's how I saw alcohol. And then, you get older and your friends start being like, oh my God, let's get drunk on our parents' vodka tonight. And you're like, you know what? Yeah, let's be rebels. I don't know. And it becomes a norm, I think, so fast to just start drinking and getting into it. And I'm not going to say that I ever have had an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. To be honest, like, I've always been fine for the most part. But I was just reflecting on it over the last few weeks, and I was noticing I, first of all, don't even like the taste of alcohol. Like, I don't like how it tastes. I generally have to force myself to drink it when I'm in the social setting, and, like, that's the vibe. And I hate it. Like, I could do well with a margarita here and there, but the feeling of actually being drunk, and especially the feeling of being hungover and, like, overall getting to the point of being drunk, like, I wasn't enjoying any of it. I was not enjoying it. And then I was thinking about the fact that it just doesn't make sense for me. Like, drinking does not make sense for me. And it's interesting because socially it makes sense. Like, when you're hanging out with all your friends, it's fun to play a game of, King's Cup. I love King's Cup, you guys. I love it. It's so fun. When you're sitting with your friends and you're all giggling and you're sipping your beverages, it's a good time when you're in that safe space. But I was just comparing, like, what I'm getting from drinking versus what I'm losing. I'm losing so much more. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to just pull the plug and be like, fuck it, I'm sober, because that's, I don't know, a rash decision. I want to be thinking this through. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to intentionally think about being sober for a week, see how I think about it, all right? And then I woke up one morning, and the first thought that crossed my mind was, I'm sober now. It was like I just woke up in the morning, and it was like, just floated into my head. And I was talking to my friends about it, saying that it didn't feel like a normal thought. Like, it didn't feel like, oh, I kind of want to get a latte after this. No, it was like, it was just so matter of fact, so natural. The first thought that I had in the morning, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to this. This feels like intuitive, like I'm just going to follow it. It felt a lot like when I wanted to start the podcast. Because I said on this, when I started this podcast, I said so many times in my first 17 episodes, I was like, this is so random. Like, I never planned on having a podcast. It was never something that I was like, I really want to do it. I literally just had a thought one day. Well, to be clear, my friend told me. She was like, you should start a podcast. And then I was like, you know what? I should. And then I did. And that also felt like very intuitive, very aligned. Similarly with the thought of being sober. Okay, so I've been sober. That's so dramatic. I have not been drinking for the last 2 weeks. And I'm going to be honest, that's nothing crazy for me. Like, I don't really drink a lot in general. I feel like this summer, I had a good 2 weeks where, like, my whole friend group, I feel like we were all on a bender together, which I can't even lie. Like, it was fun. It was entertaining. I kind of enjoyed it for what it was. But it's not hard for me to, like, stop drinking. So I was like, okay, I'm done. And it's been chill. It's been a good couple of weeks. I've been happy, you know, as I usually am. Tried my first mocktail. It was amazing. Honestly, dare I say, better than when it has fucking alcohol in it. Like, I am an alcohol hater. I'm an alcohol hater. And I thought that I would share my personal opinions now on alcohol and why I hate it. And you do not have to agree with me. You don't have to change your life. This is just me ranting, giving you my opinion, right? Okay, so perfect. To be clear with you guys, I literally feel like alcohol is purely evil. Like, it doesn't make any logical sense to me. Because what do you mean we drink this thing that tastes like shit? We put it into our body and it makes us sick. So sick that you throw up, you like shit yourself all day the next day. Maybe that's just me. And it ruins your liver. People die of it. It causes, like, people are addicted to it. It numbs you out. It makes you make decisions that you wouldn't normally make. It makes you more emotional than you normally are. Impulsive. There's drunk driving. You could kill somebody. You could kill yourself. In my head, I'm like, none of this makes sense, right? And I think a lot of times people use alcohol as a tool to numb out how they feel, which is, it makes sense. Especially like when life is hard, when you're feeling some feelings that you don't want to feel, it makes sense to find an escape. But I feel like there are just such healthier ways to escape than to drink, you know? And I was even thinking about it. Okay, this might be a bit of a conspiracy. I don't know. The whole rat race, right? Let's get into it. Like the 9-to-5 career that you fucking hate. You live in a town that you hate, and like this is the way it is. And you save up to buy a house. Why? Because the world tells you need to save up to buy a house, and you need to have a family, and like blah, blah, blah. That's the fucking rat race. And I don't subscribe to it. And I think alcohol feeds into that perfectly. Because society is like, okay, you go to college, you get a degree to get a job. And why do you have a job? You have a job so you can afford your house, so that you can have a family, right? But it's like, the 9-to-5 job that the whole world is pushing you to have, you probably hate. And so after work, it's like, you know, you have a beer. You have a little mixed drink. Take the edge off. You know, you're feeling some fun feelings now. You don't have to think about the fact that you, like, actually hate your life, or that you don't feel aligned, or that you miss somebody that you're too afraid to reach out to. It's like, it just numbs you out. And it keeps you trapped, I think, in this cycle that the world wants you to be in. Or at least the American little system that we have going on, which is to stay sick, to stay in your job that you hate, to stay tired, overworked, underpaid. Like, it's this whole thing that I just think is all correlated. Like, one of my friends, she works like a corporate job, and her job has so many fucking happy hours. Like, first of all, 9-to-5, like office, typical job. Happy hours, everyone's drinking, and my friend doesn't drink that much. And so whenever she's not drinking at these happy hours, everyone's like, why aren't you drinking? You should be drinking. Like, let's get you a drink, you know? And she's like, no, like, it's okay. Like, I don't want to drink. And I feel like it's just so ingrained into society because it distracts us from finding our true purpose. in finding our own sense of peace and alignment within our lives. That's my personal belief. Of course, there are exceptions. I know it's a big cultural thing over in Europe, whatever the fuck. I'm not talking to Europe. Europe can do whatever you want. I'm talking to like my fellow American brothers and sisters who are drinking for literally no reason other than to do what everyone else is doing because that's what everyone says they should be doing, or to numb out how they feel, or to just get a little buzz, get a little silly. Guess what, you guys? You don't have to drink to get all fun and silly when you just make your life fun and silly. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes people are like, okay, but drunk words are sober thoughts. Maybe just fucking say it then. Like, why do you need a beverage to tell someone how you truly feel? Why are you so afraid of finding a life that actually feels aligned with you? Why are you so afraid of doing what scares you, but then when you're drunk, all of a sudden you have the courage? You know? I don't mean to, like, call anyone out right now, but, like, drinking makes no sense. Literally no sense. Okay? So that's my soapbox that I'm not standing on. I would also like to say now, backpedal. I will not be judging any of my friends who drink. I would not be judging my parents who drink. I am not judging anyone fucking else. I just know that for my life, for how I want to feel, for the life that I want to create and the path that I want to be on, drinking makes this many sense to me. And I could give this many fucks about people who have anything to say about that because it doesn't affect anyone. So anyways, that's drinking. And now we're going to get into my 500 unread text messages. If you know me in my personal life, you know that I'm horrible at texting. Like, my parents know this. My grandma knows this. My best friend, Megan Cardiff, she knows this. She literally told me this morning, she was like, Haley, I'm talking to this guy, and he's a horrible texter. But I'm trying not to hold it against him because you're a horrible texter, and you're a great person and a great friend. And I was like, thank you. Thank you. And I am, I think, the worst texter I've ever met in my life. And to be honest, that's intentional. That is very, very intentional because I believe that my energy is precious. My time is precious. Am I going to take the time to respond to somebody's text message when it literally doesn't matter to me? Might be harsh, but no. I won't. Sometimes I do just genuinely miss things, and, like, that's an oops on my part. But, like, 500 unread text messages does not happen on accident. Like, that is very intentional. That's me saying, you know what? Rebecca, Anthony, Charlie, they're all hitting me up to, like, say something that, guess what? Doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't fucking matter. And then, okay, dating and texting. Fuck no. Fuck no. Like, I don't want to text you, hey babe, I'm at work right now. How's work going? Oh, it's going great. Just typed an email, hit send, about to go eat some lunch. Do I give a fuck? Yes, probably if I'm dating you. But do I want to be spending my day texting you? No. You guys, I want to spend my day trying to be as present as possible. Okay? I don't want to be locked into my phone because we feel like there are all of these things that matter so much. Like, I have to respond to my aunt or else she's going to think that I hate her. Or I have to respond to this text about this meeting. Guess what? No, you don't. No, you don't. The people who you know and love will know and love you no matter what, okay? And, you know, not texting back, I do generally have to communicate that to people. Like, I will tell the people in my life, like, just so you know, I'm a bad texter. I probably won't text back, but it's nothing personal. If you need to reach me, call me. I would love to talk to you, but I literally hate texting. I will not be texting you. I could not be bothered, okay? And I was reading my book this morning, and it's called The Motivation Manifesto. Yeah, it's really phenomenal. And I took some notes about it because it felt like it related a lot to the whole texting everyone. And it was just talking about being intentional and asking yourself why. Okay? So this morning, I was like, why do we feel like we have so many people that we need to respond to? I feel like that all leads back to people pleasing and the belief that you are not enough as you are, and so you need to seek approval from other people. But I think that you take so much of your power back when you realize that at the end of the day, no matter what you do, people are going to have their own thoughts and opinions about you, and that's none of your business. That's theirs. They can choose to think and believe whatever they want about you, truly, like whatever helps them sleep at night, whatever works best in their brain. Your responsibility is to yourself, right? And one thing that my favorite podcaster says a lot, Rob Dial, Mindset Mentor, people do not regret dying at the end. They don't regret like not making more money. They regret not living. And how do you live your life? You find a way to be present in your life. Okay, so as I'm reading my book this morning, asking my questions on why do I do this? Why do I do that? I'm thinking to myself, why do I check Instagram? Why do I go on and check people's Instagram stories? Why do I post certain things on Instagram, right? What am I even posting for? Why am I doing certain activities? Why am I thinking about certain people? Why am I doing X, Y, and Z? And that brought me back to my why in life. Damn, I feel like this podcast is all over the place. We're going everywhere right now. The ADHD is ADHDing. It's fine. Finding your why. Because I think if you know your overall why for life, then it helps you change your habits. Because then you can look at, okay, why am I scrolling on Instagram right now? When like my why in life, my highest goal in life is to be the best version of myself, be as kind as possible, and help people. Help people feel comfortable, help people feel safe, help people feel supported. By scrolling on Instagram, am I getting closer to my goal? No. What am I going on for? I am going on social media to check in on all of my little followers and whatever the fuck, because that gives me a little bit of dopamine. It's a distraction from my life, right? And it's a social norm. We're told that we should do it. We should be posting our coffee every morning. We should be posting our little workout class selfie to show people that we actually worked out today. It's all the society thing. But then if you look back at it and you're like, okay, why am I doing this? I'm doing this for a reason that I didn't even realize. It was all subconscious. But now I can consciously look at it and make a different decision that aligns with my highest calling, my why in life. All right? So I was like, why am I looking at these stories? I'm looking at them because I don't want to be present in the moment for some reason. So then I had to like stop and look at myself and be like, why don't I want to be present right now? Like, what is it that I don't want to feel? And I think sometimes there's a responsibility that like weighs in the present moment. It's like, fuck. I have things I should do. I have things that I could be working on. And instead of just looking at it or just letting it go, I feel like I'll distract myself because it's easier than facing the present moment. And I think that's why people drink. That's why people do drugs. It's all to escape. And so then I was thinking, how can I make my present moment a safe place to be so that I don't feel like I need to numb it out by going on social media, or I don't need to numb it out by taking a drink of something, or going out and talking to people to distract myself from my own life. I truly think that to heal yourself and your relationship with your vices, it starts by creating a day-to-day life that you love. And that is hard. I don't think that that's easy. I think that it's very hard. But I know that it's possible because I have done it. And I was talking to one of my friends yesterday who also just loves her life. And we were talking about how on paper, we've never been more down bad. Financially, am I thriving right now? Full transparency, no. I'm not. But I feel the richest I have ever felt in my entire life. And I feel it trusting that if I fall in love with my day-to-day life, if I fall in love with the jobs that can make me money, if I align to those, if I can fall in love with every piece of my life, then I think everything will just work out cohesively. And I talked about this even last week. I feel like creating a day-to-day life that you love is so powerful because if you can find a job that you love so much that it feels fun, it feels like play, then you will be able to work harder, longer than anyone else could who hates their job because you just love the process of it. So it's I feel this richness in my day-to-day life. And I think if somebody else were in my shoes, I think they'd be stressed out. I think they'd be kind of losing their minds. But I feel like there's just such a good balance and peace and love that I've created for myself that, I don't know, it all just works out, I guess. And I think for me, being sober and being selective with my energy and even the little things like texting people back, I think that all brings me one step closer to my goal because I'm not numbing things out. I'm not people pleasing to make other people feel happy. It's I'm fully trying to embrace my life and embrace where I am and who I am and try and face it as it is to make it as wonderful as possible so that I can be successful down the line. Because I do not think that continuing to make myself sick through drinking or people pleasing or staying stuck in these old habits, I don't think that will help me feel richer or happier or healthier in the long run. I think that cutting out the things that I know are not aligned will help me reach that next step. And I hope that, whatever it is in your life that you use to numb or to feel more socially accepted, I hope that you can find a way to give that acceptance to yourself, to truly know and believe that you are perfectly worthy exactly as you are. You don't have to post certain things on social media or go to certain social events, and you don't have to do X, Y, and Z to be worthy. You already are. And there is a world out there, a life out there that you will love so much, that will love you right back, that will fuel you. And I think it all starts with giving up and letting go of those tiny little things that just are not aligned, that aren't aligned. So, this week's update. I am not drinking. I'm sober. I won't be texting anyone back, probably if I don't feel like it, as usual. And I don't know. I feel happy. I feel hopeful. I hope you feel happy and hopeful. And I hope you know that you're loved. If you're listening, I seriously mean this, that I love you. I appreciate you. And I will talk to you guys next week. Adios.